I'm pretty tired today, but today is RPG Wednesday, so I figured I'd go live for a bit. RPG Wednesday. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to come up if you want to. I'm pretty tired today. I guess fleshing out some character art for older. Right now I'm writing out the character name older. Trying to do some cool word art. Is that what it's called? Typography. Hopefully it's fun. There was a website generated today made by Goose. I posted the link in the RPG Beat channel. I haven't gone through it yet, and I was thinking about doing that today, but I'm also kind of tired. It's available for moseying. I'm not sure what structure it's associated with quite, not yet. I didn't ask about the prompt. Maybe someone else can go through that. It was made by Kimmy, or generated by Kimmy. Kimmy developed it, prompted by Goose, developed by Kimmy. Have you seen it? I wasn't sure how to do attribution. I'm mentioning it, and if I post this somewhere, then that'll be the attribution somewhere. I haven't used Kimi yet. I haven't played around with that model yet. RPG Wednesday. Older. Thank you for the heart, me. This is backwards? Yeah, that's backwards. And you reached level 10. Nice. Add a sticker. Congrats, Big Diction. I don't think the stickers show up in the live recording. I'm pretty tired. And gonna L. Not gonna lie. Brother's gonna lactate. Creating RPG character art for RPG Wednesday. Suggest a character name. You can come up with a character name if you want to. It'll draw the character name. Come up with a character. I was able to make some content. It was a tired day today, but I was able to make some content. And I was able to make some content. I would say, but it was a tired day, but I was still able to make some content. I often say and instead of but, or try to redirect my ands. Try to redirect my buts to ands. Because the but sometimes feels like it's making excuses. Flyer. There are some pretty interesting flyers. I appreciate that there are contexts that present some amount of familiarity, and we can start to. What's the word? What am I looking for? I appreciate that there is an amount of familiarity with some of the structures that we share, so they can be seeds for design. That's something that I can mention. You can take a screenshot of the title card, the cover art chooser, when you're making a video through TikTok, and now ask ChatGPT to generate a flyer based on that. Under. I guess I could reverse this. I could reverse this. I kind of don't want to because I'm used to seeing my face mirrored this way. It's strange to me to see my face flipped around. Maybe other peeps won't notice. I see my face more often than they do. I assume. I hope. Under. Clay golem, who is usually gnome shaped. I have to figure that out. The idea is that I would use modeling clay. Do I have any nearby? I don't think I have any within arm's reach. An idea is that I would use modeling clay to design this character. Build the character and have that be available. Oh. Have it be available for play. Towards play, I might want to say. Something that came up today is that it's difficult to share canonical experiences across the number of people. So, what is actually happening in RPG Wednesday? And there are structures that I can preserve and say pretty much whatever I remember are the canonical events. And when people join, they can increment their characters, however. And I kind of hope people increment their characters anyway. I like the idea. Under. Clay Golem. I like the idea of playing a clay golem because that ties into, what is it, Minecraft pretty well. I'm not sure what kinds of golems exist in Minecraft. I think that's something that you'd be more of an expert in, probably. Designing a new RPG character with viewer suggestions. Comment your name idea. Yeah, you can leave a comment if you want to. And I'll doodle something. Clay golem. I appreciate being able to handwrite things like this. Snow golems, copper golems, iron golems. Interesting. Golem made out of snow? Is it like packed snow? Is that a is packed snow a more buildable item, or is it just a texture? Snow and a pumpkin head. Nice. Spotlight. So I might try to spotlight a character every week and draw some sort of title card every week and have that be at least some sort of progression. It's interesting to reflect on having uploaded a live stream to YouTube. Having uploaded a live stream to YouTube and see that it's possible for Gemini to summarize meaningfully, and that can be useful for notes. The last one that I posted to YouTube spawned some art. I found that pretty useful. Under clay golem. That's backwards. I'm going to not mind that it's backwards as an expression of my whimsy. Is that convincing? I'm pretty tired. Spotlight. I guess I should figure out. I think that it would be cool to tie this into Obsidian somehow. I think that would be interesting. I haven't dug deep into the developers, pardon. I haven't dug deep into the developers yet. I'm still trying to turn my workspace back on, which would cost about $30 to turn back on. I don't know if anybody has emailed me since. I also have some other relatively urgent bills that I gotta figure out. They've been the same shape for a while. Same size. They've been the same size for a while. I know it can sound abstract, it can seem abstract. I only get paid when people pay me. And then people wonder why, like, what have you done? And I mention that. They're like, oh yeah. And I think it's kind of funny because I do a fair bit of work throughout the day. Is it fair? can I call it fair? I do an amount of work that most people wouldn't want to do, it seems. But the responsibility of compensation is diffused. And sometimes when I'm streaming, if I mention money, people leave, which is noticeable. It's true. That's just something that happens. But also, I only get paid when people pay me, so I gotta mention it and be okay with the room changing size. It's not even the size though. Sometimes it's the people. It's pretty often the people. Um, but also I spend more time with peeps who are here in other spaces, so I don't want to keep. It's like the people who have heard me complain about. Pardon, the people who have heard me complain about this before have already heard me say everything that I have to say about it, pretty much. And describing the dynamics is necessary, but also when I don't have energy, I kind of don't want to. When I do have energy, I kind of don't want to because I can burn through my energy pretty quick. Is that true? Sometimes I can burn through my energy pretty quick. It's been interesting to reflect on tokens as a reflection of value, store of value. That's coming along nice. Fine, I'll mirror the video. You can see it. RPG Wednesday spotlight. Onder, the clay golem, back to unmirrored. Is it mirrored? Well, I guess this is mirrored. This is, I'm looking at the image like it's a mirror. And how can I design this? Have a note card. Kind of like the idea of Onder having a hat and being roughly gnome sized. Ideally, this character would be easy enough to sculpt. I don't know if Onder is going to be a golem. I mean, the clay concept, I might leave that open. Might leave that open ended. I think it's interesting that we can recognize a shape of like something human and what we create. We can look at the eyes of something and recognize it, or the facial structure. Is that pareidolia? Pareidolia? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've seen it spelled. I would appreciate if the AI summary mentioned how to spell it. Designing a new RPG character based on Minecraft golems. Suggest a golem design. Second one, pareidolia. Thanks AI summary. Big diction. Are you AI? I'm not going to go there. If you are AI, I feel lucky to have been graced with your capabilities. Someone told me to stop talking to AI. In general, what was the context? Prevent brain rot. Made a post. Peeps have so much to say. They have so much to say about AI. Telling Claude a joke. I appreciate that. Curious what it was. If it fits. Drew this earlier today. Splashy. Web development and design. Today is RPG Wednesday. Why would someone believe you're an asset in a business kind of way or community? I was drawing this when I went live the other day. I use scissors for these. Usually. For pretty much all of these. Sometimes I use X-Acto for specific, like when I have one, when I have an X-Acto knife handy, which isn't very often. I might try that out for a bit. I've been practicing. Game development. This one I was planning on using to create some sort of grid structure. There are people who have skills that are very relevant for designing something, and I want to make sure I don't take advantage of their capabilities. So I'm trying to develop the capability myself to pay them. And I also need to consider the rest of the team. And I also need to be realistic about who has contributed what. Like, no one else is here. It could be. And the peeps who are here, like beyond the peeps who are here, is what I meant to say. Get engineers hired, connect authors and illustrators, and encourage lifelong learning. Invite Big Diction to join as a guest. Build and make art. Something I can casually mention is that you can paint your nails and then interact with the world and then have a reason why your nails are like that. And that's going to be a bit more difficult to fake. Announcement renewed. Yeah, these are sites that I'm working on. Updating splashy.com. UI walkthrough, screenshot, screen cap, mid-journey doodles. So I have this stack of art. Is this art? Thoughts? Notes? Should do what? I missed that. Ah, true. Nail paint. Nice. UV nail polish. I'm interested in that. I'm curious about that. Has the bubble popped yet? And I also have this box of squares from when I was drawing in Chicago. Hey Rick, how you doing? And this is actually like towards the concept of lore.land. Locked. So I was working through some swoop syntax, and one of the ideas that I had was that you could depict something and then have the swoop on the back. Different characters that interact with the light in different ways. So if you scan this, or just take a picture head on, then the context, how do I say that? No one else knows the material properties that you are interacting with. And it's possible to generate an educated guess, but the actual physical properties are going to be more difficult to guess. Like this one, I might have used my Precise V5 pen. You can see that I have different nail polish. I might have used my Precise V5 pen on this one. And if I did, then it won't be waterproof. Let me test this out. I'm gonna dip my finger in some water. Probably used a micron pen for this one because it didn't smudge. So with things like that, you can have a square and then have it not be actualized until you interact with water, for example. I think that's an interesting concept. These squares are a couple years old. This one might be. No. Do I have any that would smudge? This is a watering eye. One of my earlier TikToks mentions the watering eye as a location in lore.land. It's a pub. It might be something to extend. There's a different concept called the waterful eye. I'm going to set those aside. I've had other art and I've lost access to it, which kind of makes me sad to think about. It is what it is. Here's a lighthouse. This one's from May 30th, 2022. When I was drawn with people in bars, I would recommend to people who want to be local somewhere, try it out, but be mindful, be street smart, maintain awareness of your surroundings. This one's pretty nice. I have an animation with this featured on my, I think it's on YouTube, when I was playing around with Stable Diffusion. Have you tried Stable Diffusion? Baseball Diamond. Boon.land. I guess this is a bell. Stable Diffusion, if you have a powerful enough computer, and it's probably fine, it's probably gotten more efficient now. More recently, I'm sure. I'm sure there are more efficient models now. The parameters were interesting. There are so many different knobs with Stable Diffusion. Getting that right, Midjourney made that a lot easier to work with. It made the possibilities a lot easier to work with. Before it was pretty difficult to know what would change. But I also appreciated that creative constraint because it gave me a reason to spend time thinking about why I wanted an image to be different. And in that time, I was able to reflect on a few different dimensions of creativity. Anyway, now it's an amount of time has passed. How long has it been? 33 minutes? I'll say that was pretty good. Thank you for being here. I will reward your presence with a token from this box of squares. I'll probably move these squares into something more portable. First dibs on the waterful eye, maybe? Some sort of token. I can also draw a Theris. The waterful eye. Anyway, thanks for being. Catch y'all later. Cheers.